finished it.
Of course you did. So does this mean we're live?
I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
We probably need to create like a...
Oh, we are live. I can see it.
Hi. Oh, yay. Good morning. Welcome to the drive. Parked. We're not really
parked. I should have put that. Well, we're probably not parked.
Yeah, not really parked. Coming from the safety of our own homes. We feel like people should listen to more music. We have decided that this morning because no matter how like stressed out we could have been through all of this, we had this music going the whole time.
Through our technical difficulties.
Due to our technical difficulties. We didn't care.
We didn't.
We were dancing. I was shoulder dancing.
It's super chill.
We were. All right, sorry.
All morning. We would do this all morning.
We would.
Okay.
All right.
It's episode 32 of The Drive.
It is episode 32. Welcome, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is a little different because obviously we're not in our car. And why aren't we in our car?
For the safety of everyone involved. We have decided. Let me think of all of the statements that I'm seeing across social media. For the safety of the employees of the drive, we have decided that it is safer for us to work from home today. So we're not driving.
It is because my car might be a giant germ mobile.
Yes, because Kat had the cooties last week.
I did have the cooties last week. I did. And we don't know exactly what that was. So I'm gonna bring it up here too, because for the first time I'll be able to see the comments.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because you never get to see.
Well, we've done this before. Yeah. So we're on here. Oh, we are. Look. Yay. So good morning. Tracy. I saw that Tracy liked it or loved it. She loved it. So Tracy is amazing.
I know, right? I love you so much.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw her most recent video where she talked about it really is just talking about what she's going through. She was thanking everyone for the support and things like that. But it just was so just inspiring to see someone use their story in the midst of the story to help other people. But also, she did share, like, I'm not always up. I'm not always like,
and I think that's important.
Had my moments. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very important that people know that.
Yeah. Yeah. We're allowed to have those moments, right? So what are we talking about today, Brenda?
So today we're talking about how we can navigate this whole Corona craze with emotional intelligence and figuring out how we can be a little less stressed out during this time, because everybody's so stressed out, and understandably so, to a degree, but there's a healthy way that we can manage that stress.
Yeah. And I think some of we talked a little bit about how just the hysteria of it is probably making it worse in terms of, we talk about in our Stress Less workshop that we talk about what happens to our bodies during stress and that we actually get sicker. So the fact that we're worrying and stressed out about it is actually potentially affecting our immune systems and making us more susceptible to it. So
absolutely. So the fear alone is causing issues.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to share a story. This is not on the agenda. Not that we really have a specific agenda, but
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So this story, but I don't know if she's going to be watching, but a friend / colleague of ours. Do I say her name?
I don't know what you're going to say, so I would say no first.
I'm talking about the elevator yesterday and how well she handled that.
Oh, I'm sure she wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Okay. So I just got
awesome. So who doesn't want to hear how awesome she's freaking amazing?
Carolyn Bagley, and she is just amazing. And we were doing this Reiki trade with each other, and it started yesterday, Friday the 13th. Although I believe Friday the 13th are very lucky because my dad was born on Friday the 13th.
Oh, cool. Really?
I could be making that up. He was born on the 13th. I feel like the story is that, but then after I said it, I could be making it up. But we'll go with that. It's a lucky day for me. And so she's coming up. We're on the 7th floor of this really nice building.
Yeah.
And she sends me a message and says, I'm stuck in the elevator. She was stuck in the elevator for an hour. And do you know what she did while she was in there? She sent positive energy out to everyone in that building.
How awesome is that? Do you know what I mean? Like you are, because I can only imagine like me, like I hesitate to say I'm claustrophobic. I don't know if it's that bad, but elevators definitely make me uncomfortable. So I'm not sure that I would be able to think about everybody else. You know what I mean? In that moment. Right. So that was just so, it was
what a great way to handle it, because, you know, even if she was stressed, or, I mean, no matter what, even if you're not claustrophobic, I do think, did I say that right? Claustrophobic? I don't know.
Claustrophobic? I think so.
Okay.
It was right enough for me. I know what you mean. No.
If you're afraid of small spaces, if you have a phobia of small spaces, like, even if you don't, being stuck in an elevator, she said it went all the way up to 12 and then like came back down. It was like kind of jerked, and yeah. So,
oh, I didn't know all that. That's
yeah. It was like kind of, it could have been very traumatic, but she came in and, you know, I asked permission to hug her, because right now we need permission to hug people. Right. But yes. I just was very impressed with how she handled that. So I thought that was.
Yeah. When you told me about it, I was too. That just to even be able to think about everyone else in that moment when you're, could be in distress.
So I think my point of sharing that is that no matter what's going on, we really can, if we take some deep breaths, we can choose and, you know, start to pay attention to what we're thinking and what's going on. We really can choose how we respond to even stressful situations. So I thought that was really good.
I think that's important. I mean, it kind of leads into what we're talking about today, and how, like you said, these feelings of fear and anxiety are definitely compromising our immune systems. Like that's a thing. That's a real thing. So we want to be mindful of that and just give some helpful ways that people can kind of think their way around this when you're feeling at your most anxious, or just trying to figure out, again, navigating these emotions.
Yes. Yeah. So I'd love to hear, since I can see, I think, I'm going to share it on my page. I never do this. I'm just shared it on my Facebook page.
You're all excited.
I am. I'm super excited. I usually am driving. I don't know what's going on. So I'd love to know like what's coming up for other people in terms of, you know, I'm seeing two well, I said this yesterday, but then I think it's way more than just two. I'm seeing two extremes and then a bunch of things in the middle. So one extreme is everyone is overreacting. This is ridiculous. Let's go on as business as usual. And then the other extreme is let's shut everything down. I'm terrified, and let me buy all the toilet paper.
I just still don't get it, but yeah, that's what's happening.
Right.
That is definitely what's happening.
But I think as with everything, it's finding that harmony in the middle.
Right. Because I'm like, anything in excess, it can be a bad thing. So like you said, just wanting to err on the side of caution and understand that you can be prepared without being anxious. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's intelligence in being prepared for whatever may be to come. I don't think I need 17,000 cases of toilet paper to be prepared. I'd rather get some rice and some beans and I don't know, whatever people eat during times of crisis.
I might be coming to your house.
Right.
You know what we're having? Do you know what we're having? Hot dog buns.
I'm sorry, what?
Hot dog buns. Because I keep thinking this is the opportunity. If we get quarantined for, 3 weeks, like I don't think we're going to, but if I have, from last summer, I had this party and I had I had hot dog buns left over. So I put them in the freezer. And I feel like this could be our opportunity to utilize
those year-old hot dog buns.
Right. So I went on Pinterest and I found out things that I could do with hot dog buns. You can make French toast.
Quit it.
Like a French toast casserole.
Oh, I love French toast casserole though. That might be good with hot dog buns.
See? You were doubting me.
You guys can look up Pinterest. Instead of panicking, you can look on Pinterest and find out what's your old food in your freezer.
Do with all this food in my pantry, in my freezer, and start using it in a way, we probably have flour. I made banana bread last night, like a pioneer.
With hot dog buns? Or no, are we off the hot dog buns now?
Well, off the hot dog buns.
Oh my God, like a pioneer. That's hilarious. I'm never gonna stop hearing that. Like a pioneer. What does that even mean? Oh God, that's awesome.
It wasn't like a pioneer because I used my mixer, and I don't know that. I feel like pioneers didn't have bananas or the almond flour I used.
Why do you feel like the pioneer? I'm not even gonna go into why you feel like the pioneers didn't have bananas.
They didn't have bananas.
Why wouldn't they have bananas? You think bananas are like a new invention? Like we just created a banana?
They weren't shipping them here. We don't grow them here, do we? I don't know. Where do bananas?
So we're gonna go into the conversation because it's so ridiculous. We do grow them here. Can somebody tell us where bananas grow?
All right. So we are going to take a page while somebody tells us where bananas grow. We're going to take a page out of the, I didn't see all the, I know, but now I see them. Tracy's laughing at the pioneer thing. We're going to take a page out of the HR Talk book because we love when they read the articles at the end. I wish we had JC's voice reading it.
We don't have JC's voice. That'd be awesome. HR Talk is another podcast. You guys go follow their page. It's awesome. But yeah,
and listen to their podcast, even if you're not in HR. That's incredibly entertaining and fun. But Chrissy said, call Graham. I bet she can figure out how to make banana bread with hot dog buns. And I think she's absolutely right. My grandma can make anything out of anything.
That's how my grandma was.
Yep.
Ooh, so do you want to read the article or am I
sorry? This is why I'm not allowed to read the comments. Besides the fact that usually I'm driving, I'm also like not staying.
You're getting very distracted by the
I am. It's so fun. Okay. So I think we had two different articles. Yes. Do you want to do the one with Elon Musk and?
Yes.
So who's the other guy?
Bill Gates.
Oh, Bill Gates. That's right.
So this article, we thought it was amazing because we're going to talk about how Bill Gates and Elon Musk had very different responses to the coronavirus. I'm calling it Corona Craze. But it says the coronavirus disease has taken the world by storm. To date, the outbreak has infected more than 109,000 persons in at least 97 countries and caused more than 3,800 deaths, according to the official counts cited in the New York Times. At this point, it's still difficult to predict the full effects of the novel coronavirus. Will efforts to contain the disease and cause its regression succeed, or will COVID-19, is that how you say it? COVID-19 turn into a full-blown worldwide pandemic? Both Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates recently weighed in with their thoughts and their almost polar opposite reactions. On Friday, Musk tweeted, "The coronavirus panic is dumb." Now contrast that response with that of Gates, who recently posted an article on his blog entitled "How to Respond to COVID-19." In the past week, COVID-19 has started to behave a lot like the once in a country pathogen we've been worried about, writes Gates. I hope it's not that bad, but we should assume that it will be until we know otherwise. You can really see how stark the contrast is of these two responses when you place them side by side. Musk and Gates both possess brilliant minds, but while one of these responses is potentially dangerous, the other promotes a rational, safety-first mentality and could possibly lead to saving millions of lives. We don't have to guess who this article agrees with. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, understand, and manage emotions in yourself and in others. The ability is important to develop in everyday life, but it can be life-saving in the face of a panic-inducing situation like the coronavirus, because it allows you to keep emotions under control so you can make balanced, reasonable decisions. In this case, Musk's and Gates' responses are important because they have colossal platforms and each can influence the way millions of people view and respond to COVID-19. Taken literally, of course, Musk's take on panic is correct. While the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, have made it clear that current circumstances suggest it's likely that the virus will cause a pandemic. Experts also advise that one of the best things the public can do is try to remain calm. The problem with Musk's tweet is that its casual tone distracts from the seriousness of the situation. It also undermines the work of countless medical and scientific professionals. And while Musk attempted to explain his reasoning through a follow-up tweet, the fact is very few people saw that explanation as opposed to the almost 2 million reactions the original 5-word tweet has received to date. Gates, on the other hand, provided a much more detailed and nuanced explanation for his reasoning. He spoke to the dangers presented by COVID-19 and why he believes the current situation is an excellent case in point of how the world needs to solve an immediate problem while also improving the way it responds to outbreaks in general. This type of response not only shows the ability to balance emotions and rational thought, it also inspires others to do the same. But while Gates's words are important, it's his actions that speaks the loudest. And it goes on and on and on, just talking about what Bill Gates has done in response to the virus, which is awesome. But we'll post the article so that you guys can read that.
Yeah, part. We'll definitely post the article. And I think I had a couple things that jumped out at me during this. One is, when you said there's no question about who the article agrees with, right? I think it's really important to pay attention. This is a really good time for metacognition, to pay attention to what we're thinking during these times. If we really do want to, if we want to handle this in an emotionally intelligent way, that's one of the things we can do is start paying attention to our thoughts around it. And like anything else, we tend to gravitate toward people who agree with our opinions.
Absolutely.
So someone here is like, clearly doesn't think this is just stupid and thinks that, it's something that we need to take seriously. But paying attention to that, and maybe even challenging, am I listening to people that maybe my narrative that don't match my narrative? You know what I mean? Like something along those lines.
Right. Like we talk about challenging your lens, challenging, you know what I mean? How you're looking at things, and that whole curiosity, not judgment, really comes in handy here. Instead of judging what other people are going, people are just crazy and they're ridiculous. Why are they? To actually try to understand.
Right. Yeah. So, in our own thoughts with curiosity, not judgment.
Right.
So that me into, it was actually the third one down, but one of the things, I told you, it's on my mind all the time. Right. Every time I grab a door handle, every time I meet someone new and I'm thinking, do I want to shake their hand? Do I want to, yesterday with Carolyn, can I hug you? Because I want to give her a big hug. And even, like it's constantly on my mind. So I think that can be something, a way to handle that emotionally intelligent is to go, okay, I just touched a door handle. I probably could go wash my hands. Or, and, for me, like I'm using my coat sleeve to do different things. And I'm thinking, well, now I'm just got on my coat sleeve. Now I got the cooties on my coat sleeve. So, but I do think that we can, I do think that we can handle it in that way. So I'd love to know what like other people are doing if they are having those like invasive thoughts about it. It's a conversation I'm having with my 14-year-old. We're talking about it. So it's just, it's interesting how pervasive it is in terms of my thoughts and my conversations right now. You picked up your coffee cup and I was like, I hope you washed that. And I wasn't even joking. I'm afraid.
I'm not. And I don't know. I told you that I'm working on figuring out if it's a irrational disdain that I have. I mean, I'm definitely elbow bumping people. I'm mindful of not shaking hands, and I'm doing a lot more elbow bumping and a whole lot more fist bumping and that kind of thing. But it's definitely not at the forefront of my mind ever at all. Like,
isn't that interesting?
So it's like, I think I'm still, of course, washing my hands, which I really hope everybody was doing that anyways, but I am still washing my hands, but no more often. But I have noticed that I'm using Purell, like in between a little bit more often. So I'm more likely now in between hand washes to kind of grab the Purell, and you know what I mean? So I'm careful of that, and get the gas pump for whatever reason. I did notice last night, gas pumps are so cootie. And I was like, I don't want to touch the gas pump.
Yeah, gas pumps definitely have a lot of cooties on them. You know what I haven't heard anybody talk about? Disposable gloves.
Oh,
Why
like
aren't
you
those like fly? Yeah, why aren't those flying off the shelves?
because then when you touch something with the disposable gloves, now it's on the gloves, so they have to take the glove off and put on a new pair of gloves. Like it's easier to just wash your hands. Like I could have, you know what I mean? Then
Yeah,
I feel like you'll be just going through a thousand things. Hmm?
I don't know. We're not going to go in all that. I'm adding to it. I'm not making this any better right now. So we won't say that. But I think
using panic. We're supposed to be telling people how to call.
Right. No. So, but I do like, so I like that. I think is important. What am I thinking? How am I thinking it? Is this rational? Can I start to challenge it a little bit? Or is there an action that I can take that would help put my mind at ease a little bit? Like washing my hands, like using Purell.
Right.
Purell. It's Purell, I believe.
Is it Purell or Purell?
I think it's Purell.
Purell. I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
We need to get a life. We need to get 2 lives, 2 sets.
We do. And then the other thing that popped out at me that I wrote down during this article was really just how it's getting your emotions under control. Emotional intelligence is, in this case, I think is somewhat detaching from the emotion and looking at it with curiosity and not.
I agree. And I think that if you really, really, really think about it, to me, they're saying the same thing, just in drastically different ways. And I do think that
I'm so interested to hear, because you said that when we were kind of talking back and forth, and we try not to go into too much detail before we hop on. What do you mean they're saying the same thing? I don't think they are.
So on one end, well, and then I'm also considering the follow-up tweet also. Okay. But in a way, he's not saying that, can you, my daughter is standing here being annoying. Like, can you move? She's distracting me.
Can you have her wipe off the board?
I know, right? I think that's what she's like. You see, I keep leaning over. I don't know which one of my kids wrote that.
I know. Well, and I saw it while you were reading the article, and I started to giggle, and I'm like, oh, stop. I need to pay attention. So, all right. Yeah, stay right there. That's good. Okay.
But you know I'm not going to sit still. Now everybody's going to be trying to see what's going.
Don't look. Don't try to look.
Just take your hand in. Just, But I'm going to cover the camera. Hold on 1 second. We shall return.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Do. And why did I have the Jeopardy music? I don't know. I could have gone back to. All right. So why do you think they're saying the same thing?
Because he's not saying that that being concerned about the epidemic is stupid. He's saying the panic is stupid. The fact that people are panicking. Yes, he said the coronavirus panic is stupid. So if you isolate that, he's saying that the fact that people are panicking is absolutely ridiculous. And also in the same token, the other one, I can't remember which was which, but I think it's Bill Gates. Bill Gates is saying, don't panic, but here are some. So I do think that Elon Musk was irresponsible by tweeting that, because he definitely needed some clarifying remarks, which he gave ultimately. So I do think
nobody reads the clarifying remarks. They read that first part. And I think
exactly.
If you're emotionally intelligent, you are mindful of the fact that you have that platform, and you are expressing your thoughts in an emotionally intelligent way.
Absolutely. So I don't think that he did that, but I do think that they're saying the same thing in essence. Do you know what I mean? So whereas he was irresponsible in the way he said it, it was very dismissive. I think Bill Gates was just giving some tools and some hints to help people not panic. So right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant when I said they're saying the same thing.
Sure. Melinda just hopped on. Hey, Melinda. Oh, I love seeing people come on and all that fun stuff. Okay.
I know, isn't it exciting?
The other part of that though is, I think also we talk about the lens that we're viewing it through. And I told you for what's the matter? Oh, she just muted herself because she is. She's letting them know right now. Put on mute. I know what you said. I can read lips. Okay. So anyway, you know what you said? Marjay, can y'all be quiet? Because this is what happens when we're at home. So anyway, so
wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Okay, wait a minute.
Did you remember that video where the guy, he was getting interviewed by MSNBC and his daughter came in dancing in the background? Have you ever seen that video?
Oh, wait, is it the, yeah,
He
it
was
was,
being interviewed like on like national TV by MSNBC, and he was working from home, and his daughter came dancing in the room.
yeah. And then but the best part was then the wife comes in trying to be sneaky and like crawls in and grabs the little girl and pulls her out.
And he was just sitting there like, he was fuming. He was so angry.
You know what? I think that stuff makes for good TV. It's real life.
I'm gonna find it and post it. I'm gonna find it for y'all and post it in the comments. That video was so funny.
It's hilarious. Yes, it is. It's so funny.
Okay.
So, but the fact that he said the panic is dumb, here's where I don't want to say take issue with it, because again, we talk about you see things through your lens. He's, I'm guessing he's a fairly healthy male, right. I'm not male or female, doesn't matter. I didn't mean to say it that way, but, I asked my son, we had talked about him potentially going to my parents' house during this time that they're not in school. And what he said was, Mom, I've changed my mind. He said, the incubation period for this is X. I don't want to give out any facts in this. Yeah, he talked about how the incubation period.
Damn, he better come through with the facts. That's what I'm talking about.
But he said, if I've been infected, I would feel terrible if I've passed this on to Grammy and Papa. Aww. And, I'm like, what a responsible way to think about it, and think about it in a way that it's not just me. Like he would get over it very quickly. They said kids bounce back from this very, very quickly. I have a TED talk that I'm going to post as well that is so good. The only thing, that's the other thing, I get a little frustrated, not a little frustrated. I get a lot frustrated when people make this political on one side or the other. Like, I don't know how that is possible, but we seem to be able to do it with literally
every instance. Right.
But this is one that is so not political. The only thing, and I will say this up front, is she does talk about what's happening with our planet in terms of, we're cutting down a lot of trees and things like that. So that would be the only thing that I could see somebody would find it somewhat political, but it is one of the most relatable talks that I've heard, that like she's speaking in layman's terms. It's super understandable, but she says on a scale of 1 to 10, like, I don't know who she put it at 1, but she said like the CDC is 10 in terms of like who you should believe and listen to and all of that. And she said, I'm like a 7. So I thought that was awesome to like put her, to say, take what I'm saying.
I'm not an authority on this matter, but this is what
and she is. I think and honestly, just based on what she was sharing, I think she was being modest, but it was just really, it was awesome. And it was very logical. It helped me take the emotion out of it and sort of understand what's going on with it. So.
Right. I think that's important. Like you said, but we, just finding the harmony. Like, I can't stress that enough. Yes. Like, understanding that this is clearly something that we need to be mindful of. It's something that we need to be careful about. It's something that we need to be cautious even, but to be outright panicked and then trying to figure out what panic looks like. This is something that I realized is that a lot of people are going, everybody's panicking. Like, who are we to say they're panicking? Maybe this is their method of preparation. So I think you have to know if you're on the extreme end to where you're panicking, or if you just feel more comfortable buying toilet paper and that makes you feel prepared.
Yeah. And you know what? That goes back to things that we're always saying, to each their own. Like, figure out what works for you. If you feel safer and it lowers your anxiety level to have, I was going to say a shit ton of paper, toilet paper.
but no.
To have like a ton of toilet paper, stockpiled, awesome. You know what I think? I don't have a lot of toilet paper. I have a lot of friends.
Hey, you better say it, girl, because like, listen, I did not.
and I have maple syrup, so I can barter. That's what I think. I'm gonna barter my
The fact that
goods.
you're handing this out, I can't.
I'm going to barter my goods. I'm going to be like hot dog bun for your toilet paper, but we can make it into
Nobody wants
French toast. And listen, you like the idea of French toast. You would trade me if I made you a French toast casserole out of hot dog buns. You would give me 2 rolls of toilet paper for that. Would you not?
I would give you 2 rolls of toilet paper for yes. For French toast casserole, you can get a whole pack. I got a 4-pack for you. Here you go.
See? Yeah. So I think I'm good. I think I have enough bartering power with the other things in my home that I don't need to go.
You see me looking around like I got a bunch of Purell. My little brother works at Gojo, so we have tons and tons of Purell all over the place.
Yeah.
So I could barter.
Yeah. See, that could work. So we talked a little bit too about, and what's interesting is we brought this up between the two of us earlier this week, having nothing to do with this, the difference between worry and anxiety and
concern.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts? You really enjoyed that. What were your thoughts about that?
I did, because I'm like, worrying is, I always say it's not worrying. It's what's a misuse of your imagination? Is it worry?
Yeah, worry is a misuse of your imagination. Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, to be worried, it feels it makes me feel stagnant and like not productive. I feel like I'm like stewing in my own juices, kind of ruminating. Whereas concern, I believe, requires action. It's time to take some actions to help me to no longer be concerned. So figuring out exactly, to me, I can dig into concern and find logical things that I can do to alleviate that concern. Whereas worry is usually not factually based. Do you know what I'm saying? It's usually just all haywire and all over the place. So worry is definitely not the way to go. Okay.
You all right? So Tracy's laughing about the year-old frozen hot dogs for some toilet paper, but I think it could work.
Girl, we are on Facebook. Can you?
Well, because they're so used to us being, because she's so used to us being just on here, just hanging out.
She all in my personal space. Can you?
Yeah, this
is my adult child. This is not a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. This is a 19-year-old woman. I am 20, baby. Oh, excuse me, a 20-year-old woman. All in my personal space and in my business.
So there was another article that I was looking at potentially. I'm going to post. It's 6seconds.org. And I'm not going to go through it, but it was a lot of resources, 12 resources for COVID-19 anxiety. I thought that was really good. It's a lot of different places that you can look. So we're going to do that. And then I'm not going to read the whole article, but there's one that there was an article about workplace emotional intelligence during the global coronavirus outbreak. And this was from Wednesday.
Can we just say
Caroline Stokes, which I actually have seen her speak. She spoke in Cleveland a couple years ago, and she's amazing.
I was Corona Craze 2020.
What's that?
Corona Craze 2020.
That's your hashtag?
Call it. Yeah.
I can see that. So she said business disruption is testing everyone's emotional and social operating systems and functioning, which is better known as emotional intelligence. Sequoia Capital said it best in a blog post addressed to the founders and CEOs. In some ways, business mirrors biology. As Darwin surmised, those who survive are not the strongest or the most intelligent, but the most adaptable to change. So, really this is about looking at, to me, this is, of course, we're a small business, so we have to take this into consideration, not so much how it's affecting us, because it's, it's the two of us, and, we have the ability easily to work remotely and all those things. We don't have a lot of employees, but our clients have a lot of employees. And absolutely. I don't know if you saw Chrissy Meyer's post this morning, but I shared it on my page. I would highly encourage you to go read that. It is such a heartfelt sentiment of people are being affected by it, and people are by this worry, whether whether they're infected really doesn't matter. They're affected by it. And it's scary. And if you have people that you love that are compromised and all those things, and then as a small business, like she said, she's worried about her family, but she's worried about her employees and her employees' families. And this is a time for us to really, really separate our emotion from it and operate from a place of logic. Caroline goes on to say, it's the responsibility of leaders to show empathy, unprecedented optimism, and flexibility that will lead business out of this crisis. It may all come down to our ability to self-direct and problem solve on a regular basis.
Oh, wow.
While this crisis might blow over, it probably won't happen in the next few weeks. So we need a crash course in developing our emotional intelligence skills. Here's a primer on how to create a level of respect and calm for yourself and others. And I'm not going to read all of this. I'm just going to read the bullets of it. One is be empathetic.
Yes.
And, again, for me, my family has a huge maple syrup breakfast every year. And it's something that a lot of us really look forward to, is this yearly thing. And it got canceled. And part of the reason is that, my mom is a diabetic. That scares her. Right. And it terrifies her that something could, my grandma is 92, I believe.
Right.
92, right? Chrissy, if you're still on here, let me know. 91. She's 91. I don't know. I think that's right. But anyway, just being empathetic to understand that we're all viewing this through a different lens for different reasons.
Right.
Another one is be innovative. Technology has made it possible for us to work anywhere: video conferencing, email, online chat. There's a lot of things that we could do. Right. Be flexible. Be optimistic. And I would add to that, be non-judgmental. I think that can be that could help all of us so much to stop buying into some of the propaganda of trying to make this freaking political. I'm sorry. It makes me so mad.
Your soapbox 91. Your granny's
That's 91. Fine. Yes.
But I agree. And I don't even understand in this moment what the judgment is for. Like myself, I've been completely removed from like the fear. Do you know what I'm saying? But not to the point to where I would disrespect anyone else's fear. For me, it's just like, I don't know. I think I'm cool. And it's just another reason for me to exercise my introversion. Like I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure. Yeah. That's something I am happy about, excited about.
Right. So it's like, but I'm definitely mindful, and I understand certain levels of fear, which is why, you know what I mean? Because this was Kat's idea to do the show. I was like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't want to talk about, and I feel like there's a fueling that happens. I feel like it's kind of like feeding the beast the more we talk about it. So I said like, oh, right. I'm not even talking about it anymore. But no, I think this is a really good thing. I think it's important that people realize that there's a productive way to be prepared, and that you don't have to panic.
Right. Right. Yep. Emotionally intelligent.
Be very careful about where you're getting your facts from. There's so much false information floating around, and that can cause panic. So just all of the time that you're going to take research and the stuff that you're seeing people post on Facebook, and then to find out, oh, well, that wasn't true. That wasn't true.
Can we please stop getting facts from Facebook and calling it a reliable source of any kind?
Right. I think that's very important.
Like for anything?
Ever.
All right. I think that's good. I think we're good on this. So hopefully we'd love if you're watching in the replay to share what you're doing to help look at this logically. If you're willing to barter anything for hot dog buns, please remember.
Or Purell.
Right. Yours might be more valuable.
I know, right? I'm stockpiling.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it until it's down to the wire.
Yeah. Yeah, I am hot dog buns. I've got other things. I got moose meat.
Moose meat?
Yeah, it's a long story.
Is moose meat good?
I don't know. I haven't actually had it. It's in my freezer.
We'll talk about that later. No.
We will. We will. All right.
But yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions. If you're feeling particularly anxious or I don't know, we'll steer anything. So let us know.
We would love to steer it with someone.
Right.
Sit down and steer the situation to help you feel a little more in control of your emotions when it comes to this.
Right. So we're down for that. So let us know if you have any questions or if you'd like to steer this, or any comments at all. They're always welcome. And I'm going to post the video of the MSNBC interview. I'm going to go find it now and post it.
Okay. And I'm going to post the YouTube video as well, along with these couple of articles. So post anything you want in the comments that you think might be helpful. But don't use our sources as a be all end all. Do your own research.
Yes. I love that. Sounds good.
All right.
I have a great week. We'll see y'all next week. I was going to say something and I lost it. Next week, same place, same time.
Bye. Have a great day.